Welcome to the Rise Up Show, and today I'm so excited and pumped up to host an amazing coach and mindset business coach who is simply amazing. This girl is a true source of nature and a real manifester. We have met through the online Scale Your Online Business Summit, and I'm so happy we can get together on this episode. Jodi teach tools and strategies to how to grow your visibility online and empower you to be more aligned to take inspired action. So let me introduce her. Hey, Jodi, how are you today?
Hi, Ian. So well. Thank you so much for having me.
Glad to have you here. I really appreciate that you took your time from your busy schedule. And tell us the short version on who you are.
Who I am, my goodness. Well, short version, I like to tell people I am light, right? We always have these.
Right.
Yes, I am light. We always have this, I'm a father, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a student, I'm this, I'm that. But who I am really at my core is just this light. I like to bring all these ideas and business strategy and clarity and technology to people. So it's really where I found my calling as a business coach, where those things come easy to me. And from my gurus and the coaches that I've learned from, I'm now able to go forth and kind of shed that light and knowledge on others.
Wow, I love it. So share with us, what is it that you do as a mindset business coach?
Yeah, right now, currently, my main focus is on the business strategies. So each of my clients will work on money-making activities because as entrepreneurs, there's so much out there, right? We're the bookkeeper, we're the copy editor, we have to understand sales psychology, all of that. So
Nice.
my main focus is to cut through the clutter. We go through all of that, but really it's just, this is what you need to work on first. So I focus on those aligned strategies and the technology, because technology seems to throw a lot of people off. But when you can understand, well, this is a simple email sales funnel, this is a landing page, this is a really simple way. You don't have to have an upsell, a downsell, outsell is not even a thing, but all these things, it's now really easy to build a business in flow, and you can see a better return on your investment that way.
A lot of people do get overwhelmed with technologies, and I love that you do it in a simple and easy way.
I do, yeah. I've been doing building websites for over 10 years, helping people with their businesses for such a long time now. So it's, there's really, everything is figure outable. Like Marie Forleo says, if someone says, well, I want to do this, but I don't want to utilize an email strategy, there's always something else we can use to automate and scale that process.
That's for sure. There's always tricky ways to find that solution, or for that a solution, creative solution for everything.
Yes, absolutely.
How did you start your business?
I started, oh my goodness. So like I mentioned before, I've been in the online space for about, over 10 years now. I started out as a fashion blogger, transitioned to a fitness blogger, transitioned to a lifestyle blogger, and all of that. Really, for me, at the moment, I was looking for something to break away from the norm. I have a degree in human resources and business, so I really was like, I just don't want to go sit behind a desk. So I use blogging as a creative outlet. And then I really have always had this entrepreneurial spirit inside me, and I used that as a way to work with brands and create passive income. And then Instagram came about, so I was working with brands and trading my monetizing my influence, I guess, for compensation and photos, and it's just smaller upgrades, right? I got the camera, explored YouTube, started doing that. From YouTube, started connecting, looking more into creating passive income. So I became a digital course creator. And at that point in my life, I was getting all these questions like, how are you doing all these things? How are you traveling? How are you being invited to these exclusive events and connecting with all these people? And I said, really, I'm making sure that I am visible. I'm visible in the online space. I've kind of created this brand for myself. I branded myself as me. And then I extended that into being a business and a mindset coach, because from my blogging days, my blog was always about strategies, not just fashion or not just about fitness, but how to cope with anxiety, how to go through life if a loved one has depression. Those are things that were very near and dear to me, things that I was going through that I just happened to be vulnerable enough to speak about online, and kind of grew this following and audience. And so that was really great for when I launched the coaching aspect of my entrepreneurial journey, where I had an audience already that, had been following me for a while, that was interested in learning how to monetize their message and be an influencer and really just get more visibility for their business.
Wow. And that's so true. A lot of people are afraid to go and be seen, go in front of camera, posting all the time. And that's the way to grow, to really be out there. So how do you give the audience like a tip of how to start to get out of their shell?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, I got my NLP certification, which is neurolinguistic programming for those of you that are
amazing technique. NLP.
Yes, amazing. So really, when I became certified in that, I was able to speak a lot more eloquently on this. So I'll share a few things that I learned with that. A lot of time, the fear is something that we haven't experienced it yet, or we're living in a different state. So that fear mindset of, I don't want to be seen, I don't want to be the face of my business. What if someone finds me salesy or annoying, or what if someone comments something negatively on my video or my Facebook Live, right? Those are things and situations that we create because our ego kind of wants to keep us safe. So if we can step outside of that and release those limiting beliefs, we call, limitations, we can now all of a sudden act from a place of pure authenticity, where we're not afraid to go forth. We're not afraid to hop on a Facebook Live. I love where you're sitting right now. It looks like a very public place, right? Some people
yeah, it is a public place. It's a coffee shop.
A coffee shop, perfect. And some people would be like, oh my gosh, I can't go live in a coffee shop. People are going to be looking at me and asking me things. And it's just releasing those inhibitions and connecting to that version of you that was you before the world told you who you should be, right? Before the world told you you need to be quiet, or you need to dress a certain way, or you need to act or look a certain way. And so when you can get over that fear, you can all of a sudden create a visibility strategy for your business, where you're not afraid of being in front of an audience. You're not afraid of getting on stages and speaking. You're not afraid of connecting with strangers on the internet to form an authentic, real connection.
Bam, drop the mic.
Yes, boom. Alignment bomb, that's what I call it.
Alignment bomb. That's so true, because when we were kids, we weren't afraid of anything. Yeah. We didn't know what fear means, but then, parents said, no, you should do that. You shouldn't act like that. Don't do that. And then the curiosity, it's killing the curiosity. It's killing the opportunities to go outside and really be who you are. And I love how you put that way.
Thank you.
So why did you start your business?
Main reason for me starting was kind of what I mentioned before. I was going through a lot, and I was able to be vulnerable with the world and put that out there. But a lot of that was for me. A lot of that, when I was fashion blogging and expressing myself and inserting all of these different mindset techniques and tips and things, that was for me like a release, just an amazing release. And I realized that I had this natural ability to help others. And I had a real knack, before I even really studied, spirituality or kind of delve deep into my intuition, I was already such an intuitive child, intuitive teen, growing into an adult. So it was one of those things where it just felt so, I guess, aligned, right? That's my brand, alignment is beautiful, but it kind of fell into my lap of, well, these are all the things I'm passionate about. These are all the things that come easy to me. And these are things that I can teach others how to, grow, step out of their shell, gain visibility, understand technology, not be so afraid of success or afraid of failure, and just kind of do the dang thing, right?
Yeah, do the damn thing, because most of the people are afraid from failure or from success. Also, that's a big fear.
And it's provided such a transformation for me in my life. And the fact that I can do this full time and give the gift of clarity to people is something that is so rewarding. And they always, what is that quote? They say, I'm going to butcher it, but do something you love and you never have to feel like you're working a day in your life or something.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
along those
exactly.
lines. Yeah. So, you know, I wake up every morning, I'm eager, I'm excited to work. And I just know if I was doing something else behind a desk or still stuck in that 9 to 5 without that release or that outlet, I just wouldn't feel so high vibe and I wouldn't be able to be that light to others and help others pull out that magic inside them.
So true, like you said, just kind of playing the game. That's how I treat it. Playing the game, like I'm playing another game. If you went through like a big challenge, that means that's the big terrifying boss that you need to slay and get on to the next level.
Exactly.
That's exactly how, when you treat it as a game, you're enjoying all the time. You're not working.
Yeah, that's it. And I just want to ask the audience, you know, if there's anything in your life right now that you feel that you're playing small at, I want to challenge them to play big. I want to challenge you to play big, because when you think small and you play small and you're staying safe, you know, there's also another quote, I love quotes. It's just, you know, nothing really happens in your comfort zone. That growth that you're looking for doesn't happen in that comfort zone. So it really requires stepping out of it, trying something new, and just thinking bigger, visualizing bigger, being bigger, taking up more space in the world. Don't be afraid.
Love it. Yeah, because when we stay in the comfort zone, like you said, we can't grow.
No.
We can get to a new higher level. It's like going to the gym and do like the same old thing all the time without putting more weights. We can't develop a new muscle. We can't getting stronger. We will stay the same.
Yeah. It's like when you see a plant growing through concrete, we almost appreciate it a little bit more. We see plants in open fields or flowers, but when you see a plant growing through concrete, you're like, wow, that plant beat the odds. Like, there's no other plant that flower grew through the crack. So be that flower going through that crack of concrete.
I love it. It reminds me the lotus flower.
Yeah.
That's actually come and blossom from the garbage.
Yeah.
It takes all the shit and take it to a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely. I love that analogy.
How do you keep momentum and being the best version of yourself? What keeps you driven all the time?
Yeah, so it's back to that mindset. If you're not feeding your mind with those affirmations, mantras, if you're not visualizing, if you really don't see anything better for yourself, it's going to be hard to get up every morning, right? No matter what you are in your journey, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, whether you're just starting out, you've been in the game for a while, you always need that vision of where you want to be to keep you going forward. So when I was working a 9 to 5 and I really was feeling the brunt of anxiety and depression, I was just at an ultimate low, and it required getting myself up out of that to be where I am today. So just imagine if I didn't visualize working full-time for myself, if I didn't visualize a business where I could help entrepreneurs from all over the world, I would still be stuck as a human resources manager in this place that was just dark for me. It just mentally, I had to get out of that. So my momentum is really built upon the fact that I am constantly setting the bar higher, and it's not exhausting, because as I'm climbing, I'm showing gratitude. And I'm grateful for the path that took me here. So nothing is discredited. Even the trauma I went through as a child. Originally, I was born in Jamaica, moved to America when I was 6.5, 7. Just all of that, just being different, being bullied, all of those things. I take that pain and I turned it into my passion and my purpose. And I turned that into income, right? Trying to start out as passive income, able to replace that to full-time income. And when you look at how far you've come, and you can see not how far you have left to go, but the vision here is where you want to go, you now have a new appreciation for the journey. And that journey is so exciting. It's like, I have chills right now just thinking about it. Like, just being so fired up about your life and where you're going and the plans you have for yourself.
Remember why you do it.
Yes, remember your why. I love that you said that. That alone is enough to keep your momentum going if you're confused on how to keep yourself motivated. Just connect to that way.
If you don't have your gas, how can you drive the car?
Yeah, look at us. We could write a book. Filled with all of this wisdom.
And although you transformed from Jamaica to United and you been bullied and all that, and you still got to that place that you are today. That's amazing. How did you not giving up all that time?
Yeah, so the thing that a lot of people don't talk about is the ups and downs of the journey, you know, ups and downs of
Yeah,
entrepreneurship. Even if you're a 9 to 5er and you're really trying to climb the corporate ladder, there's ups and downs with that too. And I'm always fully transparent with my audience. There are definitely a lot of moments where I had to take a step back in order to take 5 steps forward, or, you know, 1 step back
yeah,
to take 2 steps forward. So there are a lot of times where I did have to go back and get a bridge job. And that's something that I'm not afraid to talk about, because a lot of people will say, well, you know, I've been doing this for 10 years, but it's like, for me, I feel more accomplished when I can say I've been working full time for myself for 2.5, 3 years, right? And
yeah,
that's something that feels great to me. But there was a time where I said, well, I'm not making as much money as I would like in my business, or I've racked up too much debt and I have to go back to that space, the 9 to 5, but it's temporary. It's a mindset.
yeah.
However, you have to go back, use that as an investment in your future. And again, that's what we're talking about. The journey is where you are now, and you still kind of see ahead of where you have left to go. But there's a lot to overcome too. Like I said, the fear and the limiting beliefs, rewriting your story. I'm a huge fan of that. If I was still subscribed to the story of being, you know, a poor immigrant, I was a little overweight at the time and being bullied, and listening to all the things that people were, you know, saying to me and throwing at me, I honestly don't know if I would be here today. Maybe I would have still had the drive to change. Maybe I would have still had the drive to go, and you never know. But it's that mindset mentality. You have to put yourself in that place of success before you even get there.
So true. And I'm glad that you brought it up, the vulnerability. A lot of people don't like want to share their story, but they don't actually know that their past is their greatest asset. It's what teach us how to become greater, how to go through obstacles. Because if we've been through that, we can go through everything in life.
Very true. And
And
it is a skill you
to share your story, that's the way to connect with people.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people in the service-based industry as a coach, no matter what specific coach you're going to work with, marketing, business strategist, visibility, relationship even, a lot of us in this industry, we start with that story, is making sure you can acknowledge where you've been, you can map out where you plan to go, where you want to go, but also for the marketing aspect of it too, right? Your story is something that's going to brand you and your business as you continue. So marketing is what you say about yourself first. Marketing is what you say about yourself, your services. And we all want to go viral. I'm sure we all do, but really it's not the focus of going viral. It's a focus of turning that marketing into PR, where now the roles flip, where people are now saying things about you, your product and services. And that starts with how you market yourself. So that's why your story is so important as well.
And that is marketing.
Yep, marketing 101.
Bam, that's marketing.
Yes.
What habit did you develop that helped you the most?
Habit that I developed would have to be the lack of fear. So for me, it was, when I look back at certain moments in my life, I know I talk about it a lot, so you might think, oh, well, she overcame a lot of fearful things. I actually have never been much of a fearful person. I've always been like I mentioned before, been open to being intuitively guided. So if something feels right, I'm more apt to do it. If something is new and exciting, I'm really not a person to think about it. If it feels 100% right, I'm going to go for it. So I learned to, whatever fear would arise or show up, it's natural, you know, it doesn't have to be a lot. Sometimes it's a lot for some people, sometimes it's a little. I would make sure that my intuition and the trust that I had in myself and the universe, I would allow that to kind of absorb that fear. And so a lot of my decisions for my business or for connections or next move in life is focused primarily on that idea that if it feels good or I'm vibrating, you know, high vibe, vibrating with it, it feels in alignment, I'm gonna go for it. And that was something that I'm so happy I took the time to listen to and strengthen, because that's led to thousands of dollars in a new client just from maybe intuitively hopping on a Facebook Live or connecting with someone or doing something. It's an amazing thing when you can learn to trust yourself and you kind of like see the reward from that.
Yeah. When you see your reward and you trust yourself, that's how you can progress all the time, because you know you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. You are your best resource. So it's so much easier going through life checking in with yourself versus trying to check in with everyone else to make sure you're making the right decision.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, right.
Asking everyone just to get the confirmation, being dependent on everyone, screw that. Doesn't worth it.
Exactly.
Stop you from reaching what you want. And like when you try all the time that it will be perfect, there's like a very strong sentence that helped me to shape what I'm doing and what I'm today, and that is, done is better than perfect.
Yes, I love
Doesn't
that.
matter. It doesn't need to be perfect.
Especially for the
you will get mistakes. You will get mistakes all the time. But that's what will keep you motivated and keep you driven and know what you need to fix next time. Only then.
Absolutely. Yeah, done is better than perfect. I think everyone should be writing these quotes down that we're spitting out.
Definitely those amazing quotes. It's quotes for life.
Yes. Love it.
What was your biggest struggle and how did you overcome it?
Biggest struggle for me was just coming from a background of not having a whole lot. Now I can speak about this without feeling too embarrassed, but kind of when you're younger and you don't have a lot of money, it feels icky, right? You don't want to be the poor kid, but that's definitely the biggest thing, because that story followed me for a little bit longer than I would like to admit.
And it's hard to develop that abundance mindset.
Yes, exactly. It really is. And so that's something I still work on. I still work on my money story. If it's not, now the roles are a little bit different where I have more income than I did before, but now it's holding on to that, investing it, not spending it, and making sure that, trusting yourself that it's okay to have $10,000 and not blow it all on this, or pay yourself first, that kind of thing. So that might be something that other people struggle with. And if other people are struggling with that money story, it's always about flipping the script and rewriting it and just taking ownership and saying, well, sure, I didn't have a lot of money growing up, but if I stay back to that story, like, where would I be now? Is that the life you see for yourself, never having enough money, right? Or never having enough to meet your needs? Like, maybe you don't need an abundance, maybe you just need just enough, right? So that was a struggle for me, just really saying, okay, I'm here in America now. You don't have to live at the poverty level. You make your own decisions, right? And now I can help my mom, it just feels really great.
Yeah. And how did you overcome it? What was the shift there?
Yeah, a lot of that was the personal development that I've been talking about. It's just I had to always assess what was my alignment. I had to take a look at what part of my life feels like it's kind of cringy, or just it doesn't bring me joy, right? There's that meme going around. Kondo, I think she does the cleaning district. But it was really getting real with myself and saying, okay, Jodi, these are your shortcomings. These are where your business is not doing well because you are not handling this well, or this is where your relationships are not doing well because you could do this better. Just that tough love is the first step. Like, if we're so quick to complain, like, oh, my foot hurts, my stomach hurts, or I don't have enough time, or the kids this, the kids that, but
throw the blame all the time. It's not about us.
Yeah, and when I stopped blaming other people and other situations for the reason why I wasn't doing something, it was like life-changing. That person can say whatever they want to me, but how I react is my decision. Or, maybe my boss at the time doesn't want to give me a raise, but I don't have to stay at this job. I can get a second job or something. There's everything.
Start your own business.
Start your own business. Yes, exactly. So stop the blame, have a real conversation with yourself, and create those smart goals to get yourself out of that situation that you're in, so you can you know, so you can visualize a better future for yourself if you're stuck.
Take ownership on yourself.
Ownership, you got
I really love that, because there is something that I came across a lot. People that say, I know everything. And when you say I know everything, you actually don't know a thing.
Yeah.
Because you stop from yourself to learn more and develop more. And that self-development, like you said, that's the key to keep on developing. And that's what a lot of people missing out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that I learned too, is you can never hear the same thing too often. There's a lot of times, like for reading a book, if I'm reading a book, my process is to first I read it, just I read through it, and then I go back and I take notes, because if I'm trying to read and take notes the first time, I'm definitely missing out on something. But
for sure,
people are thinking, you know, someone might say, well, that's a waste of time, you know, you already read it, what's the point? But the purpose is when you're trying to master something, you can really never hear it too many times, right? So if you're trying to work on personal development, read the books, go to the seminars, you know, watch the summits, watch the YouTube videos, all those things. But it's really about mastery for me. And if you don't have time to master your craft, or if you don't have time to try and be good at so many different things in your life, well, you're just going to go through life just reading the book once, talking to that one person, hearing that one quote, watching that one TV show, right? And
then you're a goner.
Because it's such a surface level understanding. So
yeah, life passed by like that, and people like, what did I do with my life?
Yeah.
Well, it's never too late. It's time to take actions and really keep developing. Because one book will not do the trick.
Right.
One book will not do the trick.
I'm
curious, what book that you read that made you to start with that?
Start? I'm going to pull it up on Audible, because I want to get the author, get the name. Exactly. So one of my favorites, it's Divine Guidance by Doreen Virtue. Also Lisa Nichols, Abundance Now. Those are two books that I've really enjoyed reading. And Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. The other two people I knew about, but Elizabeth Gilbert I wasn't too familiar with, but Big Magic, Creative Living Beyond Fear. So I really enjoy those for anyone who's kind of looking to shift into that mindset. The first two are more, you know, spiritual, manifesting, law of attraction, universal truth. If you're not that into that, Big Magic is a little bit less utilizing that terminology.
Definitely going on my list.
Yeah, that's really great.
One of the books that get me started was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Shift your mind like that.
Sure did. Yeah, and I think that's free on Spotify, actually. If you have a Spotify, you can listen to it. I've listened to it on Spotify before.
Go listen to it on Spotify, people. What is the biggest struggle your clients experience?
The biggest struggle for my clients is definitely the aligned strategy. Because, you know, how we started this call, it was, you know, you're doing everything in your business. You either have an idea for your business, or you've been doing, well, I could say doing your business, working in and on your business, you know, and you kind of have this hobby mindset. I guess that's why I said that. But really shifting from the hobby mindset into the, you know, CEO, the business owner, the founder mindset of not just creating fun images on Instagram, not just going live on Facebook, but the analytics, the KPIs, the key performance indicators, tracking what campaign was successful. If you're trying to reach your first $500, right, and your first $500 from your business, starting there instead of the elusive 6K, you know, unicorn we all like to talk about. But I really focus on that for my clients, because they don't know how, and they don't have the knowledge, the clarity on where to go. They might want to do Pinterest and Instagram and buy ClickFunnels and lead pages, which I love them. But if you're not making money in your business, why would you spend $97 or $45 a month on landing pages, right? Until you have a way of getting that money back. So it's the simple funnels, the technology that they come to me for, the strategy to get visible and get a return on their investment.
So true. Love it. Can you share with us inspiring moment that you got with a client?
Yeah. I actually, this is gonna sound so creepy, but I screenshot everything, and I actually am smiling at my phone right now because client me, we've been working together for a little less than a month now, and she had booked her first client already. So I screenshot
Nice.
them on my phone, and I put them in a folder on my laptop, and their messages, things from all over the internet, or it could be a comment even. But the biggest win for one of my particular clients, not this one, was she was able to create a program. She didn't have a program. She just kind of had this idea of a business, and it wasn't like a six-figure story success. I have had those, but my particular favorite was when she realized that she had a true calling to do this, because she had all these skills. She had everything kind of all over the place, but she didn't know how to put that in a package together to kind of monetize her message and package her genius. And it was just like the message I got from her of, thank you so much for helping me to realize my potential and my worth. And I use light a lot, so shed my light on other people in the world. To me, that's really transformational and magical, because you can always take that clarity and generate income with it. So my favorite client wins aren't always the income, marks, the 6 figures or the client or the 5K a month or the 10K a month. It's more of the mindset shift when they realize that what we've worked on together is invaluable, and they have that forever, and now they can go forth and create so much more in the world with it.
Nice. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And can you share with us maybe something that keep inspiring you all the time?
Yeah.
Something.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of people that inspire me. I'm really careful with what I let into my space, especially in the morning, just because there's so much that I aspire to be still. There's so many people out there with these multi-million-dollar businesses that, of course, would be amazing, right? We're all working towards it. I'm not there yet, but try. And I'm really kind of inspired by their message and their story and what their success habits are. So Dean Graziosi, we're both in his Millionaire Mentor. Love that. Love his books, The Success Habits.
Amazing book.
It is an amazing book. Did you read the second one yet?
Not yet.
No, yeah. I'm gonna have to buy it still, or get it somehow. Get my hand. But just when they really talk about their routine, that's something that keeps me inspired. So from there, I've realized, well, I don't need to wake up every morning to get inspired by the people I like consuming information from. I can kind of take a look at their habits and create my own millionaire success habits, right? So my routine that kind of keeps me going is a combination of Dean's, Tony Robbins, Gabrielle Bernstein, a lot of these other people that I kind of look up to in my industry. And, I work on the things like the stretching and releasing tension and opening my heart chakra, meditating, gratitude rampage. That was one of my favorites from Tony Robbins. He says, he wakes up and he does this thing called priming, and he puts his hands up.
Yeah, he's amazing. I love that.
And energy through his body. And I started doing that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel pumped up. So, right? So that really keeps me going.
You got some great stuff.
It's always just, you have to design life by design, right? Create this life for yourself that you love living. And so waking up is the first part of your day that you should love. And your routine, whether it's drinking water, stretching, meditating, hanging out with your kids, petting your dog or your cat, making coffee, reading a book, is something you should do, something you love doing right away in the morning, every day.
Because those routine keeps you up all the time, and especially when you do it on the morning, you kind of rewire your brain to start out on a good vibe and a positive vibe, and not straight on reading bad news, getting into the kind of depression, if you will, during the day.
Absolutely.
That's screwing up your whole day.
Yeah, that comparison trap too will get you, right? Why is she in Bali for the 4th time this year? Been there. Felt that.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
And those routines, those are amazing. That's what will keep us motivated, driven with gas, if you will, all the time.
Yeah. Put gas in that car right away.
Can you share with us like one thing or two things that you're doing straight on the morning that maybe people can implement in their life straight away?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's something, there's a stretching exercise that I feel like I would have to get up and show you guys. It's really simple. Maybe I can explain it a little bit better than showing it. So I like to stretch my body. So essentially one hand goes all the way up, one hand goes all the way down. I know you can't see that, but you're stretching that way, stretching that way. And you're just like, you feel your back crack for one. It's amazing. You're loosening up your shoulder. A lot of people carry tension and stress there. And then the other one is you're twisting your body back and forth. Your arms are out, kind of like, I like to say, okay, I'm sprinkling the bullshit, right? I'm letting go of everything. I'm just laying back and forth, waking up my back. And the last stretch that I like to do is I open up my arms and I open up my chest to the universe. And I'm kind of doing the same action. It's just now we're opening it and inviting good vibrations in. So that paired with, I anchor in a feeling. So after my kind of like my gratitude rampage, I'll go through, I'm thankful for my home. I'm thankful for my my car, my clients, my mindset, my body, my eyes, all these things. All these
being grateful. Yeah.
Yes, I do that before I even do the stretches, before I even, get out of bed. But
I do it same the minute I open up my eyes.
It's all of a sudden you're like bringing light to the fact that you're thankful for your mouth, right?
Yeah.
But that you can even speak, because that's something, the things we take for granted, a lot of times when they're gone, it's kind of like, well, I used to, be an Olympic triathlon, but during that moment, like, you're super grateful for your ability to do all those things, right? So it's the same idea. One more. There's three things besides meditating. I think I just lost it. But the stretching one is really good. The gratitude rampage is really good start.
They're amazing stuff. Yeah. Those are great stuff, like to stretching up. I, for example, I'm doing a little bit dance, putting grateful. That's keeping you like the movement.
Yeah. Wake the body up.
Motion create emotion.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, so we're getting into the end of the interview, and I want to ask you, if you can go back in time, what advice will you give to your younger self?
Younger Jodi. I would definitely...
Younger Jodi.
I would tell her not to worry so much. Right now, today, right? I've built this coaching empire. I'm doing all these things. I'm also an actress and a model.
Nice.
I go for work. I'm interested in so many different things. I want to live my life and create the life that I love living. But it comes with so much stress and it comes with so much worry, right? Like, is this client going to want to work with me? Is this director going to select my photo for this TV show? Or will I be an okay size for this campaign? Or, all these different things. Or how will this affect my coaching career if I model for something over here? So much worry, where I've realized I've never been happier. I have so much more on my plate today than I did back then. But the way I've been able to handle it and shift my mindset to address it and kind of filter through that everything's going to be okay. I wish I had that back then. I wish they taught you that in grade school and college, because in college you're like, I have to pass my finals. Am I going to graduate? Like, should I stop drinking Monday through Friday? But it's different. And so I would love to tell younger Jodi or my younger self that you are your best resource. You can figure this out. You just have to create tools and systems within your life to propel yourself forward and not be so stuck in fear and anxiety.
Damn right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Damn right. And if you had one chance to deliver the one message that will stay written in history, well, what will it be?
I have said it several times throughout this interview. I'm going to say it again. You are your best resource. That is something we take for granted, right?
Damn right.
How many times are you waking up saying, I'm thankful for me, right? Do we ever do that? Rarely. To be honest, I need to start. I am thankful for me, right? So it's,
Exactly.
yeah, it's, you are your best resource. Whatever you want to do with your life is within your reach. You just have to, it starts with a thought, right?
Start with a thought.
You have to put it out there in the world. You have to create those actions. It's not just law of attraction, law of action as well. Not just wishing and hoping and visualizing, but
exactly
getting up and doing, connecting, getting over that fear of being visible, asking for help when you need it.
Because if you don't love yourself, how can you put it out there? How can you help others to love themselves or to develop themselves if you don't love yourself?
Exactly. Yeah. People can't get on board with that message if you are feeling like you're lacking something. And it shows, right? It's different if you're kind of faking it to make it. I prefer people don't, but work through those problems and you're just going to radiate a lot different energy.
And we have to appreciate ourselves.
We do.
So, Jodi, how can people know more about you?
Yes, if you are an entrepreneur, I would love to see you in my private Facebook group. Alignment is a New Hustle, Strategies for the Successful Entrepreneur. If you're looking for mindset tips and a mindset shift, I have a podcast, Alignment is a New Hustle. Otherwise, you can find me on Instagram at Jodi-Kay Edwards. Pretty much anywhere. If you type it into Google, I'll pop up.
Nice. So first of all, I really appreciate that you took the time to invest here. That means a lot to me. Thank you for being here, Jodi.
Thank you for having me.
And people, if you like this interview, just give us a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe, and you will get all those links in the description below. So if you want to know more about Jodi, just click those links and join her. And have an amazing and productive day. I really appreciate people that you take the time to listen. And again, Jodi, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.